Wellness Show, episode number 397.
Welcome to the Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. Welcome to the Wellness Show on health, wealth, and enlightenment. And I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan. And we're here to help you do a clearing, to clear what's ever in your way, to get out of your way, to show up, to deliver your magnificent gifts to the world. So if you have questions on dowsing, energy healing, or what's up on planet Earth, or what's up in your life, give us a call, toll free in North America, 1-866-369-7464. So it's raining here in paradise. I don't know whether I should be building an ark or not, but welcome to the show there, Laura. What's happening in your domain?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we have a lot of clearing to do. I think we should start with a clearing this morning just because my mental health needs it, your mental health needs it, the world needs it. Oh my Lord, everybody on the planet needs it. I've been getting calls and texts from people who need clearings.
So if you didn't guess it, the topic today is mental health. So if you're a bit cuckoo like Laura and me, give us a phone call. Yeah, so mental health. Yeah, so the best thing we can do in mental health, of course, and you've heard it before, and it's probably getting maybe a little repetitive, but the best place to start is with what, Laura?
The deep cleaning protocol, which is over on my desk. Hold on.
Yeah. So the deep clearing protocol is 64 clearing statements that get what is out of your way. I mean, what's in your way, out of your way. And they're really it's sort of like doing a massive cleanup of your bioenergy system, which includes all the trauma, unresolved complex, core fractures, toxic emotions, and all that stuff that really are the basic fundamental aspects that, when not dealt with, lead to mental health issues, right? So, yeah. We encourage you to at least start with that. Yes, absolutely. Consult with, professionals. If you need some professional help, we can help you as well. But mental health, let's just take a look at some of the things around mental health. Well, I know Laura just wants to start off with a clearing, so maybe we should just do what Laura says, because we want to keep her happy, because her mental health is important on this show, right? We don't want the results. Okay, so here goes. We're going to clear. So, Laura, what do you want to clear?
What do I want to clear?
Yeah.
Well, how about heart strife, like heartache?
Yeah, okay. So I think mental health, I think you're right that I'm talking about the heart, because if we don't have an open heart and can't help can't love ourselves because of some trauma or some catastrophe or some craziness going around us, then we are starting to get our wheels spinning, right? And when our wheels are spinning, we're trying to figure something out, or we just don't feel good about what's happening in the world, and we think that we're empathic and we think we need to fix it, then we're going down the rabbit hole. And that leads to mental distress, because we think we're responsible for fixing COVID-19, we're responsible for fixing Black Lives Matter, we're responsible for fixing our relationships, we're responsible for everything. And before we know it, we're just absolutely burning our synapses trying to figure this all out. So if this is happening to you, if you're in overload with some sort of crisis in your life, or you're taking on a crisis around you from society, then most likely you're an empath. And if you're an empath, knowing the boundary between what's yours and what somebody else is really important, and the deep clearing protocol helps you do that. So let's just clear anything and everything. Let's just do this. So I, Tyson Banning, my I am presence, with the assistant divine mother, divine father, and the source of all of this, clear from everybody's heart all that no longer serves them, all that is no longer theirs, right? And lead them to deal with their own love for themselves and their own love for those around them. And we remove any feelings from any core fractures, toxic emotions, unresolved conflict that makes them feel that they're responsible for solving this for others or for humanity or for the planet, that they're left to work on themselves, loving themselves unconditionally. We clear this throughout all time, space, and dimensions, throughout the multidimensional levels of reality, and we're going to clear the matriarchal, patriarchal, soul family, star family, and family of origin lineages, in case there's any bleed through, past, present, and future lives. And I think that's about it. You got anything else you want to add there, Laura?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Okay, and a little bit and I declare it so be it. It is done. Thank you. So there's it's quite a bit of stuff going on here. Get us all grounded here, which is another aspect of mental health, is mostly we're, like the chicken that is off the roost. When somebody comes through the door and scares a chicken, even when it's roosting, it goes straight up off the roost, like about 1.5 feet, and then comes back down. So we want to bring everybody grounded, right? We don't get you back out of the air and back on the roost. Okay.
Let's ground them now, yeah?
Yeah, let's ground them. So let's just do.
Install?
Okay, so I install the ability for everybody on this call or listening to this call to understand and feel Mother Earth beneath their field, to feel the roots extending down to the heart of Mother Earth, to remove all that no longer serves them through these roots, and give it to Mother Earth, to Grandmother Earth, who recycles this energy, right? And we take this installation with the Assistant Divine Mother and Divine Father and the source of all that is, to bring in divine light, so everybody remembers who they are, why they incarnated, and that they need to love themselves unconditionally so they can love humanity. And to know that everybody's where they're at, doing what they need to do, or we have to trust that they would be doing better, right? So it's not our responsibility to straighten everybody up, because I don't know about you, but when I go to do that, I don't get a very good reaction. So I declare it so be it is done. Thank you. Yeah, I think as an empath, there's still a lot of installing. And I think as an empath, we think that it's our responsibility to tell everybody the truth that we know about them. And I would say, don't do that.
Don't do that. It's not, yeah, I will agree, because when I tell people the truth sometimes and they're not ready for it, then they.
Yeah, like, so what's the secret? What's the secret sauce about all that?
Quiet. Just be quiet. That's what I just need to learn. Just be quiet. I'm just going to sit, be quiet more.
Yeah. Well, the secret sauce, yeah, be quiet and be still and know that I am God, right? To let the energy flow through you. But if they ask, then they're willing to receive. So, yeah, be careful though. Don't dump it all on them. Like a little bit and say, is that enough? Or would you like to know a little bit more, and then go a little deeper? Like, don't give them the whole enchilada. We don't want to knock people off their feet and bowl them over, right? We are really busy in this culture trying to fit in. So who we really are and what we're really bothered with, or our mental health, is something we don't want to talk to people about, because it's pretty scary. We're too busy trying to fit in. So, so if you're trying to fit in, you have a mental health issue.
Like what I find too, at least with empaths and in my own life, so I'm just going to speak on my own truth, is that sometimes I understand things from a different perspective. And so they think that it's coming from a perspective of being
critical.
And it's not. It's like, no, this is just the truth. I'm sorry that the truth feels insulting and is hurting you. But
they can't see it that way, Laura. They see it as you're being mean to them or being critical.
I know, and that's what's so difficult, because I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this is so, for me, it's so ABC 1, 2, 3, and for them, it's like I'm just cutting, like I just open them up in surgery with no answer.
Like, and you're saying, what's the problem? I don't understand what your problem is. Yeah.
Right.
So be gentle. I mean, as an empath, what you know. So as an empath, there's always that dynamic tension around a person, because you can see their soul for who they are. If you're a highly sensitive empath, or you'll see their soul for who they are, and then you'd see where they are and the struggle that they're having in their human mind consciousness, and you want to hold them accountable to their soul level. There's a huge gap, and when you do that, it's a shock to them because they're so busy on the human level with the trauma that they're trying to figure out. So,
and that's what I'm saying about, like, with my clients, I always say, no, you ask me questions, because if I just go into it, I'm going to tell you things that you're not ready for. So, but in relationships with people in my life, like, they're not asking me questions. We're just having conversations back and forth. And that's where I get into trouble, because I'm like, they're not just asking me questions about themselves, because we're just having a conversation. And
well, let's go back to what you said in the first place, is learning to shut up, right? And learn knitting or crocheting, right? Until the question is asked, right?
Mental health. Yeah. And that's a tough one for me. I've struggled with this for a long time in relationships and in friendships. My friends that are my friends understand this about me. They truly, truly understand. And if they don't understand, they're not my friends. So all my friends out there will be like, yeah, we get that about you and we love that about you, but we get it. And then, but other people, when they don't get it, or when they take it as insults, then they're not ready for this at all.
So they're not a happy puppy, are they?
No, I'm speaking of puppies. Tyla's not doing well, so if we can check on her.
Yeah, well, let's just stick with this just for a sec. And the reason I wanted to do that is that Michael sent over some things around all of this that I thought were really important to talk about. So I'm just going to see if I can bring, of course, nothing in the background wants to work properly. But yeah, so a lot of mental health issues are going on now with COVID-19. The stress and duress in families and in society is exponentially stronger, as we know. And so the need to be safe, certainly if you're in an abusive relationship, you know, it's more likely if you are in an abusive relationship that the likelihood of there being a more reason for abuse to escalate is because of tension from COVID occurring right now. So if you're feeling trapped, here's 10 ways on how to escape in your mind. Now, I'm not saying escaping in your mind is the solution if you are under real duress. If you're in danger, you need to be able to tell somebody that you're in danger, right? It's really important to be able to do that. And I just wanted to show you this right now, because this is, I really want to get this out. This is from Michael. Thank you, Michael, for, see if I can find and share that. This is the sign, an international sign, to be able to show if you are having abuse happening. So let me just share the screen here. So here it is here. So this is your signal for help when you are on a video call and somebody can see you, but you can't talk about that you're in a violent situation or in your life-threatening situation, or somebody has a gun in the house. So see, this is the actual sign that you can use. So you're putting your hand up like this and your finger across and down like this. That's the signal for help, right? So I think it's really important to know and to be able to recognize this when anybody, particularly if you know your friend is in a very violent relationship and they're working their way through, to know that you can tell them that, please, if you get in crisis, let me know. Just give me a, call, bring me to a video call and give me the signal, right? Okay.
Yes.
So the signal for help. So it's really very important. And then of course, if you see this signal, what can you do? Well, you can phone 991. You can ask for the police, or you can ask for mental health. I know there's so much questions about police and mental health, and I know we're about to redo our whole system, or certainly some communities are, about who's going to answer the call. Would it be a mental health practitioner with a policeman, or just a policeman? They're talking about giving more police actual training in mental health, because things can escalate very quickly and people can end up being shot because they're in crisis, and that can be misinterpreted as being violent when they're just trying to work out who they are. So there's some websites here, as you can see, sheltersafe.ca, WW2111. These are for Canada. I'm sure there's similar ones for the US. So it would be good if you are in an abusive relationship and you're trying to work it out, and figure out what your resources are ahead of time so that you can be safe, right? That's really important. All right, so that's what I wanted to share there. So being safe, it's important. All right, so we were over looking at horses yesterday. It was a sunny day yesterday, and doing healing on horses. And then this morning, Laura talked about one of our clients having trouble with one of the dogs.
Yep,
Tyla, who's named after us. So I guess we're responsible for cleaning it up, right? And so what's going on with the dog? I know we just checked in. So if you check in on a scale to 0 to 100, with 100 being their ideal vital signs, then, well, actually just talking about her before and thinking about her, she's now clearing to 75. She was at 50 when we started. So, which is really quite amazing when you think about it. If you are doing healing and you do that, as soon as you start to think about your client, already your guides and those that assist you on the other dimension are already going to work on your behalf. It's sort of like you get to be the maestro or the conductor of connecting those on the other side with what needs to be done on this side. The interesting thing is that, like, they can't really step in the third dimension without permission. So maybe that's a new way of talking about permission. It's not necessarily permission from, can I heal George or Sam or Pete? Because if you talk to their soul, pretty well every soul wants to be healed so that it can incarnate fully into the physical body. But the other side cannot really interfere because it's a free will, right? This is free will in the third dimension. So you need to ask for assistance for the other dimension, the angelic and the guides, to be able to assist you. So that's where asking permission is. I never thought of that before, but it makes perfect sense to me. That's why you ask permission. But it's not for can I heal this person, but are you willing on the other side to help heal this person? Yes or no? So just by thinking about the dog, the healing has happened. So what are you getting about the dog, Laura, when you tune in?
Debbie just wrote in. She is super quiet. She did a little watery poops about 20 minutes ago. She went to the water bowl and looked at it, but with a stare. When Harold did the healing and said give it like 3 hours, and then she would see a difference. So it still hasn't been the 3 hours. We still got another hour and 10 minutes.
And so who's this Harold?
Harold McCoy.
Yeah, so you want to tell people about Harold McCoy, because some people on the show probably don't know what you're talking about.
Harold was a healer on the earth who has since passed, and he works with Tyson and I, and we met him. He did a video with Tyson years ago, and it was part of our class. And after I did the meditation with him in his video, he came to me and said he'd like to work with me, and then said the same thing to Tyson. And since then, I've had clients come to me. I charge $175 for however long it takes. And it's like, I've had amazing results from it. One kid was drooling, couldn't sleep through the night without being woke up with massive amounts of drooling. He had 9 concussions. They went down to 7. The drooling stopped immediately. There's just a lot. That was one of the more prominent, amazing ones. I've done more. I just had a client on Sunday and yesterday that came in for them. The feelings are almost instantaneous of feeling better, feeling like as we go through it. He works on the head, he works on the whole body, and what I'll do is I'll explain what he's doing at the moment, and people can actually feel what's going on. I know I worked on my own family, and one of my family members is losing weight like crazy and never been able to before. And I worked on them probably around January or February, maybe March, somewhere in there. Um, had lots and lots of really good feedback on it. In fact, some of the clients out here have had that are listening right now have had Harold McCoy healings. One of my friends gave her friend it as a gift, and she has COPD and doesn't need her inhaler as much anymore. She had pain in her legs, which is now gone. I mean, there's just, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for you to fully come into the healing with Harold McCoy, but people's results,
So
they
let's take a look at that. So thank you for that. So this is something for you if you are a healer, or you like, we're not healers. Let's put it this way. It's a term that's used. We're